When I was still living with my grandmother, and this was around the time that she thought she was dying, right? See, initially, when my grandmother thought she was dying, she did not think she was dying. My mom thought she was dying, and Jennifer thought she was dying. She knew she wasn't dying. I knew she wasn't dying, and her helper knew she wasn't dying. But we went with it because I couldn't imagine anything worse than me assuming that I know better than, and then she does die. What if I was totally, totally wrong and she really did believe she was, how terrifying. You think you're dying, and then somebody's being dismissive of it. I know a thing or two about people being shitty to you at inappropriate times, so I didn't want to be an asshole, and I went with it. And my mom, my Aunt Jennifer, and we were supposed to do shifts, My grandmother needed somebody around all the time, and for whatever fucking reason, they just didn't want to spring for a fucking professional. When one night my grandmother fell down, I couldn't pick her up. I laid on the floor with her and we ate candy while we waited for my mom. And my mom was able to get her off the floor. Jennifer had a family. I understand that, but Jennifer didn't have any shifts, right? There was a wedding in her life that she had to prepare for. She was busy. So it was mostly me, and sometimes my mom. My mom got sick one time, and she spent like 3 or 4 days in a row there, but it's because she was sick, It was frustrating, okay? I don't get along with my mother. The person I got along best at the time with was my grandmother, because like I said, I'm an idiot and I thought she was trying to make up for shit, She used to tell me every day she was so glad I was there. She was so grateful for all that I did and blah, 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 And it was kind of sad. If I was right, I thought maybe she just wants to know what it feels like to have everybody around her under the same roof. I don't fucking know, But my aunt was icy. She was getting icier and icier. And I hate this. I hate this so much because the way she acted when I told her I was pregnant, and the way she couldn't be troubled to like call me and say, I'm sorry about your loss. I didn't hear from her after the flood. In fact, my grandmother wanted me to know that Jennifer didn't even tell her husband my house flooded. Like, that was to show me that's how insignificant I am to Jennifer. Like, just, But my aunt was icy to me, and I cared. The narcissist family dynamic is so hard to explain. Huh. But I sent my aunt this really long text message back when I still could text a whole bunch without my hands hurting. And then I saw her, and she was like, oh my God, did that take forever to write? I didn't even read the whole thing. I figured we could just talk. Okay. So we would talk, and at that time, my grandmother was having her will changed, right? She was, and my aunt, as we walked outside to talk, she was, you're gonna be fine, by the way. You're gonna be just fine. And what about mom? If my mom's not fine, I'm not gonna be just fine. Do I regret that? Yeah. Boy, sure. Fuck yeah, I do. I'll be honest. I regret that. But, I don't know. Isn't it important to, like, be able to look at yourself in the mirror and know that you're trying to be a good person, you're trying to do the right thing? And I wasn't a big fan of this thing that happens in my family. My grandmother, when she was pissed, right? I mean, it's a sign of piss poor character. I'm sorry. It's shitty people get together and talk smack on a third to bond. It's not something that kind people are wont to do. It's not very mature. How about that? Because I'm not saying you're a bad person. If I'm just saying, you know. Now, when my aunt told me that I was going to be just fine before this talk that we had, she said that, you know, she would help me sell my house, and she said that she wanted me to not waste everything my grandmother was going to give me on my cats. And I agreed. I admit I was lying, because I take a lot of joy in spoiling my babies. I really do. They are my family and my friends, you know? They're my babies. But I said whatever I said to appease her. And the takeaway was I felt pretty good about me and her. Like, I felt like my aunt loves me. I've just been, because, you know, she said, you have to understand how busy I am, Amber. You're looking too deeply into this, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and I've got to do so much. I don't exactly have any help from your mother. And she's like, basically, I just thought we're okay. And I was really happy. I called my dad, and I was like, Jennifer, we had a good talk. And my dad was like, I know that you feel a lot better. I know you were really worried about that. And because I was so worried about that. And I hate so much that I was worried about that for the reasons I already said. Like, she should have, I wish that I could just, like, cut out that part of my heart that is reserved for these people. I don't know how to do that. I really wish I did. I really wish I did. My family is bad for me. My ex is bad for me, and I love them all so much. And they continue to hurt me because I love them. Right?